Hey y'all, Peggy Lynn Marchetti here at beautiful Madison Creek Farms, and today, boy, have I got a treat for you. I'm going to be making my caramel apple skillet cake. This is the bomb. Hey y'all, welcome back. So I told you that we were going to make my caramel apple skillet cake today, and this is one of those recipes that is really super easy to make, and it's really delicious, and you're really going to enjoy this. Now, to really make a good caramel apple cake, you need a cast iron skillet, and this is and you don't need a big cast iron skillet, a smaller cast iron. This is kind of a medium-sized cast iron skillet, but that's what you need, because this is what's really going to caramelize all of those bottoms and that sugar and that butter, so it's absolutely delicious. So, and you also need, hello, apples. So all I'm going to do is peel a few apples, and to get started, while we start to peel these apples, I'm going to go ahead and kick on my little cast iron skillet. I'm going to set it on really low because I just want to heat up the bottom of that skillet before I put these apples in. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and give a chop. Now you can use any apples that you have. It is fall, so there's probably a lot of apples in your local orchards that's going on. Tennessee is not really known as the apple state. And we do have apples, and one of my favorite things growing up was my mom and dad had, at our ranch in Hurricane Mills, we had these apple trees, and they were these little bitty apples, green apples, and they were so tart and so delicious. And Patsy, my twin sister, I have an identical twin sister, my twin sister and I used to sneak out with the salt shaker and go and climb the apple tree, and we would sit in this apple tree all day long with that salt shaker, eating those little green apples. They were just so delicious, and yeah, we walked away with the stomach ache a lot of time. So all I'm going to do here, let me put this out of the way, is I'm just going to quarter them, and I'm going to take out the core. You don't have to be fancy to do this. This is such a little rustic cake. The main thing is when we go to chop this apple that we try to keep them the same size. Keep the pieces the same size so they all cook. They all cook together. So I'm going to take my apple and I'm just going to give it a little slice, making wedges. Trying to keep them all around the same size, same width, so they'll all cook evenly. Oh look, one fell off. Hush for me. So I'm just going to put those into a bowl over here. I'm going to add a little lemon juice. The lemon juice is going to brighten it up, brighten these apples up, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and add some sugar to my apples. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar to my apples in the bowl just to get them coated. And then I'm going to go ahead and add regular white sugar into the bowl. And these Granny Whites, Granny Smith apples in particular, you have to use a little bit more sugar because they are kind of tart, a tart apple. So you're just going to mix that sugar up with those apples, and I'm going to add a little bit of apple pie spice, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg. That's maybe allspice. That's what is in an apple pie spice. It's already smelling good. Perfect. Now, set those aside. That lemon juice is going to also keep your apples from turning brown, which is great. So let's kick on our little cast iron skillet here. I want kind of a medium heat, so I can heat this pan up really slow because I am going to melt some butter in it, and I don't want my butter and my sugar to burn. Now, the cake part. This is This is such a fun little recipe. So basically, what I use are these little packets, and they're microwave mud cakes. And this one, I usually just use the yellow cake, but this one I got a cinnamon coffee cake. And so this is a Duncan Hines cinnamon coffee cake, and it goes into a mug and people put it in their microwave. I've never even done that. But these make the perfect little cake batters for these skillet cakes. So into my cast iron, I'm gonna put about a stick of butter right in there. We're gonna let that melt down. The main thing here is I don't want this to burn, so that's why I'm really keeping these temperatures. I'm letting this come up to temperature really slow. I'm going to actually cook off some of the water that's in that butter. And then we're going to add those apples. I'm going to add a little more sugar in here at the bottom here to get that the bottom of this really nice kind of caramelization. And then just mix this up. So I mix it up just a little thinner because I like to pour it with my little thing, and you'll see. And then we're going to do this streusel. So, and this streusel that I'm going to put on it is going to be a nice sugary topping that's going to actually really be delicious on top of this cake. So all we're doing is just letting this butter melt down. I know that it sounds like kind of a lot of butter, half a stick, but you know, this is a cake. So we're not watching our weight here when we're doing these. This is not a skinny cake. This is one of those things. These kind of, when I'm making sweets and recipes like this, I always think it's everything in moderation. This is a dessert. So you're not gonna eat this every night. You're not gonna eat this every week. So stop thinking about that. You look good, girl. Don't even worry about it. It's getting perfect. So to this, I'm going to add to the bottom of this a little bit of brown sugar. And that's going to give me that caramelization. The secret here is stirring it because I don't want this sugar in this skillet to burn. So I'm just going to stir it in and kind of get it to where it's dissolved. Perfect. Keep your temperature kind of set on a medium-low because it's bubbling up. And a cast iron skillet, because it does hold temperature, you don't have to get this too hot. Matter of fact, you want to keep it on that medium temperature. You're just dissolving that brown sugar. Perfect. All right. Absolutely perfect. Now I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. Did my eye go up? Just a little bit. And bring it sort of to a little bit of a simmer, like a little simmer. Making sure I'm up here. Okay, a little simmer. Now, I'm going to take my apples and get those ready to be put right in. Get them all stirred up. Now we have sugar in the apples as well. As soon as this starts to boil, kind of, and I mean not boil, but kind of bubble up, start getting bubbly, that's when I know that it's time to put my apples in. Like now. Apples. Right in. What I'm going to do is just kind of push them down. Perfect. Now, I'm going to turn my eye off. That's all the cooking I need on that. So to that, then I'm going to take my little cake batter and I'm going to put that cake batter, just start squirting it right on top. Filling in those little holes. So what's going to happen is this cake batter is going to kind of puff up in between these apples. So you're going to see the apples and the cake batter all together. I'm going to take this lid off because I want to make sure that I'm getting some more pour on here. There you go. Just pour it all over them. It already smells delicious. Just like that. No big deal. All right. So, get this trash out of the way. So this is done and getting ready to go into the oven. But I want to make this strudel, and it's not strudel, it's streusel. Streusel. I always get those confused. A strudel is a pastry wrap around apples or fruit. A streusel is a topping, which is what we're going to make. So, I've got a half a cup of all-purpose flour. A half a stick of cold butter. Was cold. You want this butter to be cold. Of course, it's so hot out here, it's not. My streusel's gonna be kind of funky. But, you know, there is good and bad with being here outside, cooking outside of the pavilion, which I love, but definitely. So I like to mix my sugars in this. So I'm going white. And you don't have to be exact with the streusel. You just kind of, basically, what you're looking for is this pea-size, sort of pea-size floury things that we're just going to throw. And I'm going to put a little bit more of my apple. And I like a little more cinnamon than most. So I'm just going to add a little bit more right in there. And then you can take your pastry cutter and just kind of mix it together until you start getting those pea-sized pieces. And this is why it's so important that that butter is cold, because that's what's going to keep it from holding together, which makes a beautiful streusel on top. All right, just like that. So. And when you use your hands, when you're making, it will also melt that butter. So I do like to use either a couple of forks or a pastry cutter to do it. And I'm just going to pour this right on top. Whew! Dang, that's fresh. That is so good. Right on top. Now, preheated oven, 350 degrees. We'll pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, until this is nice and brown and bubbly. We'll take it out. Ice cream. Hello. Hello, love. So let's go pop this in the oven. I'll be right back, and we'll plate this up. I'm gonna have apple cake for lunch. Okay, woo! We just got out of the oven our caramel apple skillet bake. And it smells so good. My house smells so good with all the cinnamon and the apples. It's just gorgeous. Now, take a look at that. Beautiful. So, first thing I have to do is you just got to get in there. Oh my goodness. It's almost like a cobbler or a crisp. That butter. Okay, take a look at that. Oh, it's hot. Find me a little bite here. With the apple, this is so much a nice little fall. So that cake is kind of softened up. This is really so delicious. I wish I had some vanilla ice cream, but I don't have any ice cream. Mark and Luke ate all the ice cream. Yum. So that is so delicious and so stinking easy to make. It takes about 30 minutes to throw all of that together. Your guest, if you ever serve this, will love it. You're gonna love it. Mark and Luca and I are gonna certainly enjoy it tonight. So that is it for me. So thank you so much. Don't forget, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment what's your favorite fall dessert. Comment if you like to see another different kind of my skillet cakes. Just go ahead and leave a comment below. Thank y'all so much. You guys have a nice day. And I'm taking my my skillet cake and I'm gonna go. Bye y'all.